Hey, 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 how you doing all out there? Look how beautiful you guys are. It is a pleasure that you have welcomed me, and I just want to take out this time to thank you for giving me such a warm welcome. I thank you because I love you guys, and I want you all to love yourselves. I can love you. I'm not related to you spiritually. I'm related to you, but physically, no, I'm not related to you. And you may not know me from a can of paint, but you know what? I do what I do because I want you guys. You guys are so brilliant. You guys are so bright. You are our inspiration. We as older folks, we get energy from those bubbly, vibrant young people. I know I do. I love seeing teenagers when they running and jumping and smiling and just being teenagers. I know it's hard, guys. Guys, I know it's hard. Your generation is really different from my generation. And I'm not going to try to add my generation with yours because it is different. You guys got quadruple pressure than we've ever had because you got all of this extra stuff going on. You got the electronics, you have your computers and iPhones and smartphones and all these things around the world. You have quick, immediate access to all these things that was once taboo and against the law for us, as a child, so it is rougher. It is. And then you guys, truth of the matter, you're teenagers. You're not quite yet adults. You're still learning. You're trapped between a kid and an adult. And that's a very weird time for a teenager because you're a little, a 16-year-old don't want to hang out with a 12-year-old. I'm going to be real. When I was 16, I did not want to be hanging out with nobody that was 4 years younger than me. When I had to hang out with my sister, didn't want me hang. She was mad when my mother would tell her to take me with her. She would be mad, so I would be happy as I don't care. She told me to stay all the way in the back. As long as I was able to be with my big sister, that's all that matters. I'll be walking behind all happy. I don't care if I had to stay in the back. At least I was hanging with my big sister. Didn't matter whatever it is she was doing. I don't even recall what she was doing. I was just hanging with my big sister. The point was she had to obey my mother rules. See, back then, oh wow, what the parents said back then, it was law. You know how you guys, get all upset and fear of the police and all of that. It wasn't like that when we were coming up. We were too afraid of our parents. They were the only law. We weren't worrying about cops and gangs. We weren't because our parents were such disciplinaries that we didn't worry about those things. So what am I saying, guys? I'm saying to you, our time was a little more easy. I'm not saying it was just sunshine and roses, but it was a little bit more low key than you guys have it. And the peer pressure is really on. You can't go into a neighborhood without getting beat up or getting into a fight or boys or girls, and it's sad, and I'm saddened because it shouldn't be like that. And what that does is it builds your anger up, and now you want to retaliate. I can stand here and say it's wrong, and I'm going to say it because I'm against violence. I'm a nonviolent person, regardless, even if it was something that happened in my family. I have to conduct myself like a Christian at all times, even when it's personal and close to home. And it was shown to me that I do conduct myself at all times when it's close to home. I can't sit up here 1 minute and say something because it's not affecting me personally and then try to convince you all you should turn the other cheek too. No, I turn the other cheek whether it's close to home or outside of the home. I still turn the other cheek because I am a nonviolent person. I will never ever allow anyone to rear me up and to bring me down basically to their level. And that's what's happening, guys. When you allow somebody to rear you up, don't you know you're much stronger than that person when you can walk away? Because sometimes it just take you to walk away. That person is maybe rearing off and going at it with their mouth or whatever. But the person that's normally just running off at the mouth, they pretty much are not going to do too much. But if you learn to just walk away and not add oil to fire, you would have just showed the power that you have. Don't you know when you let a person rear you up and do those things that you don't want to do because they pissed you off, don't you know you're giving them power because they did what they set out to do. They wanted to start a fight with you. And I'm sad to say you guys don't even fist fight. Y'all just slice and dice folks up, or, you know, your generation. Let me say this, you know, unfortunately, you guys, you know, you really hurt each other. You know, you really go for the broke for one another. And wow, you know, back in the day, they would just put you in the ring. You got a beef with somebody, let's take it in the ring and put on boxing gloves. Because then what had happened is those two guys, after they beat each other up in the ring, it's done. It was told by the adults. Now you fought, it's squashed. We don't want to see anything else going on. And when them guys fought in the ring, you know, and whoever won or was a tie, whatever the case, it didn't matter. They never had a beef with each other again because whatever anger was going on inside of them, they got it off. And thank God for that person who was smart enough to say, okay, let's do it the gentleman way. Getting in a ring, believe it or not, that's the gentleman way to do it. Not out on the street. At least it's the gentleman way to do it on the street and in the ring because you're getting paid for it. Why get beat up, lose an eye and or lose a life when you can win and no one wins? The person who got hurt doesn't win, and the person who did the hurting doesn't win because there are consequences behind all our actions. Look, I want you guys just turn to your left and your right and say, I'm loved. Go ahead. Turn to the left and the right and say, I'm loved. Now, do all of you guys know one another in here personally or just in moderation because you're all here together? Oh, okay. So you more so in moderation. Okay, you young lady, how many friends how many people you know in here that you call friends? There's about 50 of you in here. So how many do you know that you call friends opposed to the ones you know? Okay, you know 20 of them and 3 of them you call your friends. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. You know, so all right. So, you know, then I want you guys, don't you know that whenever you get yourselves in trouble, don't you know it breaks the heart of your loved ones? Did you know that? See, you're young, and I understand that. I was once your age, and I didn't understand when my mother was chastising me, and I was getting mad at her, but we didn't speak out loud when we got mad. When I was growing up, you go into the room and put your head under the pillow, and you say whatever you want. You just don't let them words be heard. So, but it was for my own good. Like as of today, now those things, when I think about my past and think about how my mother reprimanded me and whooped my bottom, you know, I'm so proud. I'm happy because I'm the woman who I am today because of the discipline my mother gave me. You know, nobody gave your parents a guidebook. The only book that guide all of us, men, women, and children, is the Bible. But no one gave our parents a specific book how to raise. Parents do the best they know how. Some know a little more than others, some don't. And ones who don't know as much, they still turn out to be great parents sometimes than the ones with all the education. You know, what am I saying? I don't want to knock anyone down, but no one gave a guidebook. The poor parent, the rich parent, the middle class parent, no one gave them a book. They all do the best they know how. So people, don't blame your parents so much for things that go wrong because they're learning every day. I'm learning. I'm not a biological parent, but my nephews, my nieces, those are my children. I'll do anything within my power, within reason that I can do. I can't support and reward them when they're doing something bad. I can't support that. As much as I want to, as much as I love them, I can't support that, because then I'm telling them it's okay to hit somebody over the head. It's okay to cut school. It's okay to, do those things and substance abuse and things of that nature. And then yet I'm going to buy you $100 pair of sneakers, or I'm getting you your electronic game board and the games that you guys play on TV that's very expensive, your Wii game. I can't support that, because it'll go against everything that I believe. We're here to help you guys. You are in this program because the system wanted to give you another chance. And I want you all to just take advantage. Take advantage of this. This is for your own good. My name is Wanda Thomas, as it was stated, and my business is Road to Success, and I speak continuously on empowerment, not just with you all, but with adults also. I want you to know, guys, you are kings. You are queens. You are our future. We're making a pathway for you. When I need help with my electronics or whatever, I'm running to the nearest, teenager and asking them, what do I do with this? You guys know this information off the back of your head, like you know your name. You guys are brilliant. Utilize the creativity, the skills, and the gifts, the talents that God has given you. You all have gifts, and the only way you're going to tap into it, you gotta be willing to start releasing the anger that you have. You got to start. Let me tell you something. Don't look at me and think I don't know what's going on. Granted, I come from a different era than you, but I come from North. So granted, I didn't run with such, rowdy crowds or whatever, but I know of people who did. I knew how to walk around it and work with them. I wasn't a stupid kid. I was a very wise kid, because I didn't get caught up in a lot of that stuff where people was able to influence me and persuade me. I was able to talk my way out of a paper bag, because with me, I was the type of person, I didn't like pain. I didn't like the pain when mama whooped me, and I didn't like the pain of somebody trying to beat me up. And I never worried about that, because I was such a happy child. I was just a happy child. I'll be lying to you guys if I say otherwise. I was born in McCarter Highway Projects in North Newark. It was just really a different time when everybody just got together. We played hopscotch together. The parents sat outside among the wall and they conversated with one another. They watched us out there, us kids, playing hopscotch and jump rope and shooting tops. I was a tomboy, so I shot tops. Every now and then I go there and mess with the girls and do hopscotch. But I shot tops, and the guys hated when I came because it didn't look good with a girl beating them on the tops game. I remember taking the tops off of every little, bottles in my mother's house and putting them the foil on it, because you had to have that certain top. And you had to sand it down with sandpaper. Oh, we cherished those tops, and you put money in it to give it weight. It was mainly pennies, and you put the little top on top of the big top, a nice little small top, but then the one on the inside was a little smaller, and you put gum around it. And you carved that top. You sandpaper it down from the Ritz that was around the top. You sandpaper down so it was smooth, so it can just glide out of your hand. Oh, we took pride in our top. And this is what we did. We played monkey in the middle, kickball, handball, volleyball. This is what we did in the neighborhood. All us kids will come out in the front of the building. My building was called Building 1. All of the kids that came from Building 2 next door, they all came together and they played in their building. We all kind of all stayed out. I'm from Building 1, so I stayed in the Building 1 area with all of my peers and all of my friends. Well, not friends, but just with my neighbors, the other kids that lived in the building. We would get a game and play kickball. Oh, we had so much fun. So, yes, I had a lot of fun growing up. We had glowed. Our faces glowed when we were coming up. I want to see the glow on you guys' face. I I want your faces to glow. And the only way that's going to happen is you have to clean out. You got to get rid of the toxic in your life. And the toxic are those people that do you no good. I want to see you guys live to be the pillar of the community. Go to college, finish high school, go to college, get an education, become whatever you want, the dean of the college, you professor of a college. You can become the president if you want to, the mayor, the governor. You can do whatever you put your mind to. This is your time. You guys have such an advantage that we didn't. We already paved the way for you guys where it is handed to you on a silver platter. All you have to do is just ask a couple of people. If you don't know what you need to do to get your GED or finish high school or go to school or go to college, you can ask any adult or ask anyone in here. They would be glad to tell you what you must do to get a scholarship or to finish school. I'm sure that there's not one adult in here that wouldn't be overwhelmed to be full of joy to help you guys who come to them asking them about how can you excel in life. That probably will make their day like nothing ever had, because their purpose of having you here, they want to see you excel. They don't want to see you come in there again. When you guys leave from this establishment, they want to see you make right with your family, make right in the community, make right with your teachers, finish school. Oh God, you have such a bright future. I see it. And I pray that you guys get to see it. I pray that you get to see that future as well. Give me the raises of the hands who see themselves in college. How old are you? Do you see yourself in college in 2 years? Amen. Good. That's what I want to hear. How about you back there? Do you see yourself? And be honest. If you don't, that's fine. College is not for everybody. It may be a business school. It just may be a business school or a program school, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a 4-year college or a university. It doesn't have to do that. It may be a 2-year university. So everything is not for everybody, but the point that I'm making is whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Even if you don't go to college and you're using your creativity to do something positive. Look at Bill Gates. He dropped out of college. He's the richest man in the country. Now, I'm not saying that but the point I'm making, he did. He dropped out of college. And look, he's the richest man in the world. So the point I'm making is these are the gifts and talents God has given us. He's a billionaire. He doesn't need a degree. If he want one, hey, but he doesn't need it. He can buy a college. How about that? And he can buy a degree if he wanted to. He's the richest man in the world. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, guys, I know each and every one of you in here have an awesome talent. I would love to know what it is. Young lady, what is it that you love most doing? Okay. How about you? What is it you love most doing? Do you guys see yourself actually doing these things one day? Then that's one of your talents that God has given you. Now, keep in mind, that's just one. As you grow, as you get older, as you tap into your inner man, as you tap into that creative man, as you tap into the skills God has given you, more things are going to pour out. What I'm doing right now, guys, let me tell you something. You couldn't pay me a year ago. I'm going to just say a year. I'm not even going to go back 5 years or 10 years or whatever. I used to do shows. I used to do events, local act. It was totally different the way people are doing it now. We used to get a packed house back then. What are we, 2013? So I'm talking about like 13 years ago, or whatever the case may be, 10 years ago. I was able to do shows at the, I don't know, you guys probably know that place, the Brokers, which called the Peppermint Lounge, because you're probably a little young. But I used to have a packed house when I did those venues. I mean, a packed house. And you know how we promoted back then? See the flyers that you all use and see today? We had the paper flyer. We didn't pay a bunch of money. We created the flyer ourselves on the computer. We printed it out, got like 300 copies or whatever the case may be, or 500 copies, whatever the case may be, and we went out and we put them on the cars. We went to the supermarkets, put them on the cars. We went to the laundromats, we put them on the car. Wherever a crowd was, wherever a lot of cars, up and down the street, or we did our thing. We hustled. We went and took them to the different clubs and things of that nature. My phone would ring off the hook for artists, because what the flyer was audition flyers, and it indicated money, $300 in cash for the winner, And so when people see that, people participate more when they're going to get prizes and gifts. And so my phone stayed off the hook. I did them venues for a whole year. I mean, I had a successful run with those venues for a whole year. And, and I had a packed house. It got to the point that I wasn't even able to see everyone. And it was just awesome. Unfortunately, that fell through. Just unfortunately, a bad scene happened. And not with the show, but with my partner. And we dispersed, and that's what had happened. And I tried to do some other stuff, go in another direction that was more involvement with finances, and it just took me for a loop. So there I had my moments when I was up, I was down. I was up, I was down. I would have a good run here, then I have a bad run there. I have a good run there, and that's okay. What I know about the entertainment business, is always a part of me. You can't take that away from me, because I know the entertainment business, whatever you need to know about it. I know how to, promote. I know how to manage. I know how to book. I know how to do tours. I know how to negotiate. I know how to write agreements. You name it. I know. And that's all. And once you know the basics, everything else will fall from there. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, that's what I did on the sideline. I was in the back. I was helping artists that wanted to be on the forefront. Me, I never wanted to be on the forefront. If someone would have told me a year ago that I would be standing up here and talking to you wonderful, wonderful kids, young adults, I would have laughed in their face and said, what Wanda Thomas? Because you're not talking about me. Because I ran from being in the center of attention for so long. I've always been a person that will just put me behind the scene. I'm at my best behind the scene. That's all I used to believe. And one day I started off with my radio ministry. And but the funny thing about it is that I was talking to the owner of the radio station for advertisement, something totally different. But out of nowhere, he suggested that I do a program. And I asked him, well, how am I going to do that? I don't know what to do. And he said, I'll show you, and I'll tell you. And he came and set up everything from home for me. And, one thing led to another. And when I picked up the microphone and go into the studio, it just became natural. I didn't think I can do it, because a year prior, he wanted me to do, be a talk show host. And I was like, a talk show host? I was like, it's just, what am I saying? What happens is you be surprised what you all can do. Sometimes people are prophesizing in your life. They don't even know that they prophesizing. And you don't even realize that you have that gift. They're saying things. Granted, the owner probably was saying what he was saying for me to be a talk show host for his radio station, because he may wanted to bring something else to his station so he can benefit. I didn't see a benefit in it. I couldn't do it because I didn't see because I didn't see benefit in it. Not so much benefit in it for me. I just didn't see a benefit at all, because that's just wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't my thing. But that was a year ago when he said that to me. So when I called him several months ago and I was asking him about advertising, about something totally different, he suggested, now what he did, it's kind of like he tricked me. And I didn't realize he tricked me, but I thank him for that, because he's like, well, why don't you do this? And I didn't even think about it no other way of me being a talk show host or whatever. I didn't even think about it like that. He told me, Wanda, just why don't you do this? Why don't you do a program and you can advertise yourself like that and whatever it is you're doing. And I said, oh, okay. Never looked at it that, wow, I'm going to be in front of an audience at all. Now, I was doing it in the studio, so I didn't have a problem because it was like me in the studio. So, hey, cool. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have to worry about the show. But what am I saying, guys? What I'm saying is, the more you release anxieties and fears, the more things are going to be opened up to you that you never believed that you could have done it in your life. What I'm doing right now, you guys are getting the first shot at it. I would never thought I could do something like this and be compassionate about it. And one thing about me, I've given up jobs because it wasn't honest. I can't do anything that's not honest. Yes, I've given up jobs. I can say that. I can't speak for other people, but I can speak for me. I don't judge other people, and I don't speak for other people. I only go on facts and action. I only know a person of the fruit of their spirit. If you're a person who say, I'm going to do this and do that, and you do it, then that's how I know you are. If you're a person who's going to say, I'm going to do this and do that, and you never do it, I already know the fruit of your spirit. I already know not to ask you to do too much or ask you any questions, because I know you never follow through, and it's okay. It's our job as adults to recognize those who lacks in things. It's our job to just recognize those who are doers and those who are just takers and those who are just lax. It's our job as adults. We have to stop blaming everyone for mistakes. We have to stop judging everyone. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We have to stop judging. We have to stop putting so much emphasis and so much power in people's hands. And what I mean is that we must stop thinking that one man or one woman, if we don't have them, then what we need done can't get done. And that's not true. You have the power all day, all night. A person only can do in their lives what you allow, good or bad. So I'm speaking to kids. Normally I'm talking to adults. So you as kids, as young adults, I want to give you guys the respect, because I want to believe each and every last one of you. When you come out of this establishment, I am so expecting wonderful things from you guys. And I have information over there, my personal contact information. Go to my website. You guys can, if it's okay, you guys can call me. If you want to talk, or if you got any questions about talents and gifts that you have, and you want to know how to bring them out in the church, where we call it exegete, mean bring it out. You want to bring that talent to the fullest, to the top of your list. Tap in on that spirit man in you that will make you supernatural strong. When when you're ready to change your life, it is nothing that you will not be able to do. You can do anything you put your mind to. I just gave you guys a testimony. I just gave you all a story about my life. So I'm trying to tell you, in a million years, I never thought that I could do something like this. I really didn't. And I thank you. I thank you guys. Look, I'm going to be doing workshops, hands-ons, social skills, teaching on social skills. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm empowering you. I'm reminding you guys that you are worth more than what anyone else says that you're not. You are worth more than what the people on the street and how anyone that treats you badly or wrong. You are queens. And don't let no young man disrespect you or treat you any different. Don't let no young man treat you badly. Okay? You guys are ladies. You guys are queens. You are our future. And right now is the time to say, I'm sick of the mess. Because truth of the matter, your families, you break the hearts of your loved ones. You may got little sisters, little brothers. They miss you when you're not home. You break their hearts. And I know you guys love. I know some of you got this hard shell on you and saying, oh, nothing bother you or you tough. To me, I think it's a facade. God didn't make any junk. And he didn't make us to be an object with no feelings. He made us like him with love and compassion, sensitivity. So, granted, you all may convince yourself that you tough and you don't cry and you don't need your mother, you don't need your father, you don't need your little brother, you don't need this, you don't need that. Yeah, okay, you can convince yourself, but I know better because God didn't make any junk. And I know each and every one of you in here have a heart of gold. You have a heart of gold. Remember, guys, yeah, I didn't come from your world, but I was a teenager too. I wasn't as hard as you guys was, but I tried to get over and, lie or do things too, so I wasn't no saint, but we also did things a little different back then. We did it in moderation, and we were afraid of a lot of stuff, also because we didn't want to be pointed out and be judged. So you really kept yourself at bay and anything that was a little too destructive, because you always found one out the clique in the neighborhood that was really wild. And every family in the neighborhood, they pointed their fingers, not in their face directly, but they were talked about. That little fast girl or whatever, stay away from her. Like with my sister, my mother would be like, stay away from that fast girl because she ain't nothing but trouble, always up in boys' faces. This is how our parents were. And let me tell you, if your mom told you to stay away from somebody or whatever, you, 9 times out of 10, if you're going to hang with them, you're going to hang with them outside of the surrounding area. You're not going to hang with them in invisible sight where your mother can see when she specifically told you to stay away from that person, because when that person go down and get in trouble, that means you're going to go down and get in trouble. And if you're getting in trouble and doing things, my mother, I'm speaking from my mother at this point, she's assuming you're in these issues and troubles because you're hanging out with that fast girl. I'm just giving you guys a whiff of the past. We from the old school, we listened and we didn't talk back much, and when we talk back, trust me, like I told you before, we hit our heads under the pillows. So guys, I want to reiterate, and I'm going to keep stressing to you, and I'm going to keep coming back, and I'm going to keep reminding you guys that you are loved. You are wonderfully and perfectly made. You are loved. Everyone loves you. The executives here love you. The different programs that go forth out here, these people, they do what they do because they care. They want you guys to get it. They're not just wasting their time just because they just want to be here. We want you to get it. I'm here because I want you guys to get it. I come from Newark. I'm a native of Newark. You know, I won't say I was in your shoes, but come on, one of you could be my kid. You know what I mean? And I would want someone who come and express themselves and speak to you guys. I would want them, and if I had a child in here, I would want them to speak inspiration to you and encouragement. I would want them to tell you that you are wonderful, and I would want them to tell you that, you know, sometimes parents don't have it all the time. They do the best they know how, you know, because we're not putting the parents down. Unfortunately, everybody is not the same and everybody didn't get it. But you know what? You are still to love your parents. I know it's hard. But you are to love your parents. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this because I don't want you guys to think that, you know, I'm standing up here and in your eyes, you probably looking at me like, oh, I don't know what's going on, you know, I don't know what, but I need to just say a little testimony, you know. You know, I had issues with my stepfather, you know, because he drank, and I believe he is the issue why my nephew acts the way that he does. Now, it's taken me a lot to say this because that's my personal business, but I just want you to know, I mean, I had a fire that burned in me about him, and God rest his soul. I'm going to leave it at that, but I just need you guys to know just how much little information you give. I'm going to just leave it at that. He was an alcoholic, and I believe his alcoholism, it affected my nephew, and my nephew, he's a mess. I'm going to bring him one day because I asked him if he would speak with you guys. But, you know, we're working with him. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to share that with you so you guys don't think that I'm this shiny dime that didn't have any issues or whatever. I will say, no, I didn't have it rough like you, and I'm not going to say that. I did have a happy childhood according to what happiness was back then because times was much simpler. You know, we did the kid things. You know, we couldn't be hung up under, you know, the way your generation is. You know, you guys is just out open with the boyfriends and laying up and doing stuff or whatever. And forgive me, you know, you guys is just open like that. We had to ask permission. Ma, is it okay? And if such and such come, whether it was a girl or a boy, and we have to get permission first and want to know, well, who else is going to be there? Well, so-and-so going to be there and so-and-so going to be there. You know, we had to let her know, you know. So, guys, I had a wonderful time. I got to get ready to go. My name is Wanda Thomas, and this is Road to Success. You can go to my website, www.roadtosuccess1.com. I got information over there, my cell phone, my personal number over there, my website, if you guys have any questions, if it's okay with the agency that you guys, I don't know if you guys get phone calls or you can email me. My email is on information. You can email me questions, ask me, questions you need to ask pertaining to your gifts that you have that I can help you with if possible, or any kind of question that I can help you with your life, with resources, with job searching. You know, that's what I'm all about. Right now, I want you guys to get out of here. Now, when I come back, we're going to focus on social skills. Okay. Right now, I wanted to empower you guys. Now I'm going to focus on social skills. The next time I come back, I think I'll be back next week. So we're going to talk about social skills. Okay. And as we progress, and it's a reason why, because I have to do these programs in certain segments to build you up with social skills and life skills. So when we get to the job searching, you guys are going to be so ready and be before your peers. So the time you leave here, man, the things you used to do, you're not going to want to do it anymore. Your mind going to be so filled with inspiration and power that you can do anything that you want to do. You ain't going to want to be bothered with those who's just wasting their life, because I'm telling you, I'm going to work with the YMCA, with all what's in my power to help you guys to reach your full capacity, to tap into your inner man that just take you into a whole nother world. You guys going to be so awesome. When you get out of here, your parents ain't even going to know who you are. I'm trying to tell you, because what I'm sharing with you guys, someone shared with me, not in a setting like this, but I had older people where I was always gravitated to older people. I loved how they spoke and they talked about everything under the sun. And me and my little mind, young, we're like sponges when you're young. Your mind is impressionable. I was just taking everything in. Just give me a corner a little spot over in the corner, and let me just be there. I don't never have to say anything, and just listen to the conversation of the adults I used to be around. The adults I used to be around growing up when I was your age, 13 and 14 and 15 and stuff. The adults I hung around with, these were people that was going to school to be lawyers and going to school to be nurses and going to school to be teachers. So when you have that kind of mindset, you're no longer talking about the junk in the community. And we didn't have internet in the reality shows, so we didn't discuss those things, So they talked about current events, the Bible, stuff to grow your mind, stuff that you can grow and learn from. And I was just taking it all in like a sponge. So the time I turned 16, I was bored. I'm gonna be honest. I was bored with my peers. I really was. I couldn't hang around 16-year-old females. I needed to be around older females because they were the ones who were wise and educated, and I learned from them. I don't know why I was like that. I can't say everyone was like that, and I can't say that's how it's supposed to be or should be. I'm saying me. Keep in mind, I always just speak of me. Not everything works for everybody, but the way my life was, how I was brought up, what I've seen, what I've done, it worked for me. Now, you all can listen to me. You can receive this, and you can see what everything I have said tonight, what works for you, because all of you are beautiful, and you all are wonderfully and perfectly made. Granted, I care what you do if it's not productive, but I want you to do the best that I know that you can do, that's in your heart. And I'm telling you, the world will be your oyster. It's nothing you won't be able to do if you stick to the program that YMWCA is helping you with, and bringing in these different programs, different agencies to work with you. Man, if you really take in what they're doing, they want to help. This is more than a job for them. All of them have kids, and nobody want to see their child harmed or lack of or not succeeding. I don't know anyone who want to see their child fail. Even if their parents back in the day had said, I want you to do better than me. I won't call it failure. It's not that they what was a failure. They just, whatever their line of work was and wherever they limit themselves, they worked hard because they wanted their child to have even more. And when their child grow up and benefited from what their parent had did for them, that child tell their kid, wherever you are in life, you may be a teacher. They probably like, I want you to be the president. I want you to be the mayor of the city. I want you to do more. You always want more. So my point I'm making is no parent want to see their child fail. So if they don't want to see a child fail, you really think they are happy. Their hearts are broken when they got to come and visit you in these places. Or even worse, thank God that it's this place where you got freedom. Imagine if you were in the youth center. I've been there. I go there. I mentor. They're in chains. The few girls they have there and the young men. My heart is broken because I have teenage nephew. And when I go there to mentor them guys, and they just seem so innocent, you know, I can't imagine, and I don't know them like that. So I can only imagine how they parents and their loved ones feel when they got to go see them in these orange suits and chains on them and stuff like that. It is not a pretty sight, guys. It's not a pretty sight. So do it for you. Do it. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for your little brother or your little sister who's missing you. You know, do it for your mother. You know, unfortunately, we don't mean to. I know you don't mean to. You still learning. You still growing. You still just trying to balance yourself. I'm not a kid, but I'm not an adult. You know, I can't do this. I can do this. You still learning yourself. And it's hard. But I assure you, it's going to get better. It's going to balance itself out. It is. It is if you let it, if you press forward and really try to let life work for you, it can be so wonderful. It really can. And I really want to see you guys make it. I do. I want to see each and every last one of you come out of here and say, I'm never going back. You got to tell yourself that. Look in the mirror. And I want you to say out loud, say, I'm never coming back when you leave. Say it. I'm never coming back. Yes, I'm never coming back. Believe it. The Bible says in Mark 11:24, if you pray and you believe that you receive it, then you shall have it. Jesus said that if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. So if anyone in here have the faith of a mustard seed, you can pray anything you want, but you got to believe it. You got to first know who Jesus Christ is. Believe that Christ was risen from the dead. And you have to accept him in your heart. Ask Christ to come into your heart. Ask him to come into your heart and be your Lord and your Savior. And if you said them words, if you said, Lord, I'm a sinner and I confess my sins, and to come into my heart as my Lord and Savior. And if you said those words, you are now saved. That's it. There's no big ceremony. You are now saved. Those who don't want to say it, that's fine. But those who want to say, now, and I'm saying this because now I want you all to understand, those who accepted Christ, now when you go to your beds or by yourself and you pray and just say, God, help me, or God, make me a better person, or God, forgive me for my sins, or God, I want to do better for myself and my family. Don't you know your life will change drastically? You'll no longer be the same. You won't be the same person. And it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Guys, I got to go. It was wonderful. But I believe I'll be back next week. And I'm going to be talking to you all about social skills. So we're going to talk about social skills. We're going to do hands-on. And, you know, we're going to get this. Because when you guys leave out of here, all of you got different times when you're going to be walking out these doors. You all, I want to make sure each and every last one of you got it. Okay? So thank you once again for having me. Oh, God, I love you guys. And I can't wait to come back and assemble myself with you. Okay? So you all have a wonderful night. And tomorrow and the rest of the week, have a wonderful and blessed week. God bless you and enjoy.